And I'll be able to repost this on YouTube with a clearer version if you can't hear it clear here. So, new moon in Virgo, like what's going on? Like this is the first new moon since the solar eclipse, August 21st, and I know it feels like a lifetime because a lot has changed since August 21st. In the realms of personal involvement in your own personal life. Imagine that. And the key to these current transits that we are dealing with is whether you're going to empower yourself or if you're going to let other people gas you up into different situations that you aren't spiritually aligned with. So with this new moon, it is the end of a cycle and it's also the beginning of another cycle. And so when we deal with eclipse energy, we're dealing with the 6 month cycle, and this being the first moon of a 6 month cycle, this is more or less of a sign of things to come. So our last new moon was in Leo, representing the identity and the self, and it really capped off a grand sign trine where we have three trines that form a perfect triangle, and this grand sign trine was all in fire signs. And if you know anything about fire signs, it's all about that initial fire energy. And when you have a new moon in Virgo, this is not like a new moon in Leo. It's not going to be as intense. It may be a little subtle, but it may be extremely dramatic for a variety of reasons. Do I think it's going to be the end of the world September 23rd? No, but is something big going to happen? Of course, because it's not, we're dealing with a lot of different aspects. We're dealing with Neptune, and we're dealing with Uranus. And so that brings a lot of trickery into the grand scheme of things, because on one hand we have change, and then on another hand we have illusions. So ultimately we do have to change, and whatever it takes to get you there, so be it. But into the build, new moon in Virgo is trying to make sense of all of the changes that's going on. And so if you don't understand the inner workings of your mind, or the inner workings of your spiritual power, the inner workings of your spirituality, then you may be lost in the sauce, and you may be looking for someone to blame. So what we're talking about, martyr victim consciousness. And so you really need to take a note of that, because from this vantage point, everything seems weird and everything seems odd that, all of a sudden people want to go to the NAACP, or all of a sudden people want to protest and riot, and all of a sudden people care about what Colin Kaepernick is doing and what everybody else is doing, and the changes that they need in the community and in the government, and the president ain't shit. And it's like, why do you need these people in the first place? I wake up every day and ultimately I have a choice, and the choices I make reflect on me. So that's everybody's place in this planet who has a particular consciousness, who can understand that. And so when you have these people who don't say, it's not up to me to make a decision, I can't make a decision, then by default you're giving your power to someone else to make a decision for you. Now, I know a lot of you guys are smarter than that, and that's why you suffer, because you can make decisions for yourself. You can do things that can empower yourself. You are not a victim. You are not powerless. So what we tend to notice during the new moon in Virgo is that people just generally don't understand why they need to change. It's so simple to say, the system needs to change, and people outside of me need to change, but I'm golden. But you got a problem. So with those problems, we see an uptick on protests, riots. In this period, this new moon in Virgo period, you're going to see a lot of things that people just aren't going to be comfortable with, and to be honest, it's going to be misplaced. So Why am I even saying this? I'm saying this because you can get caught up into it. You could the response may be so strong, and we seeing effects with it now, but it's only going to ramp up. It's only going to get more intense, and I think that the work that we're doing as a conscious collective of debunking all of this bullshit is doing our people justice. But at the same time, they going to double back up, and so we need to understand that these people are playing a game with our minds. They're putting it right on display, and so we can do our thing, or we could just be concentrated on the shit that they doing and be. It's so much shit to be afraid of. We might as well not be afraid of anything and just keep our shit going. So, like I said, suffering is just another word for shedding responsibility. Depending on, I'm not saying that people don't suffer and people don't need help, but that's going to be but everybody can help. If you can help others, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can help. Don't always look for people to be helping you all the time. So, stay aware of people constantly needy shit, and you being caught up into it. Take a stand in yourself. As far as the events that's going to happen around September 23rd, I feel like it's going to be more of September 20th, September 21st, September 22nd. I feel like this thing is ongoing. And the reason I say this is because we are dealing with the in conjunction to Uranus. And so Uranus is all about that drama. It's all about waking shit up and the changing of old guards into new guards. It's about that action. And so when we have an inconjunct, it's referred to as a hard aspect because people don't understand integration. So when we talk about, the turn up or really excitable change in conjunct the new moon, that means it needs to be you need to prepare for change. You need to learn to integrate change. So, mark my words on that. Like, understand that you need to integrate change into your life. And so if you're not afraid of change and afraid of integration, then that's what makes it hard. But if you understand that you always going to be you, and if you got a plan, if you got a vision, as far as I know, people ain't knocking on your door and telling you you can't look forward anymore, And the difference between in conjunction is that it's not extremely overt or apparent, and that's what makes it difficult. You may have to change, and it may be very subtle, but it's kind of like this is a part of your reality. This is part of your growth. This is a part of your understanding. So the new moon in Virgos represent how we feel things should be. And so you got to understand that people feel things that should be that's not aligned with how things actually are. And a realization of that can really destroy a weak mind, and a mind that's not adaptable, a mind that's not ready for change. So when looking around and dealing with people and understanding these things and learning how to integrate these things into your personal psyche, it really makes or break, a tough period. And when things is not going good around you, you need to be sound as an individual, because you're going to get wrapped up into some shit that you really not about. And how we want things is not always how shit is. And, that's just an adult way of looking at life at the end of the day. But just because things aren't the way we want them to be doesn't mean that it's the end of the world. A lot of cycles are beginning, and a lot of things are ending, but with every ending is a new beginning, and that's perfectly fine. So we still have opportunities to speak our truth. We still have opportunities to move forward. Don't feel like this thing is too late. Don't feel like it is the end of the world, because that is a feeling. That is not a fact. Since I've been alive, the world been supposed to end so many dates. And my mom said, when she was growing up, there was points in times that the world was supposed to end, and these Christian people and these doomsday people and always talking about the world's going to end. You know, you a fool if you buy into that. That's basically it. And you know, change happens, you know, and change isn't rapid, like all of a sudden change is very subtle, it's slow, it's integration, you know. And you might look at a movie in 1992 and you like, damn, look at them old ass cars. Like, i don't remember cars looking like that in the 90s, but it's just because we're not adapting. We don't understand change and how it represents and how it manifests. But ultimately, this is a slow process, but it's a for sure process. Change is definite. And so the direction that we're going is very important for you to feel like the world is going in because somebody posted some shit on the internet. That's pure superstition. And you need to really develop your own mind. You really need to develop your own future. That's very convenient for you to feed into that, to really think as if something bad is going to happen, because that relinquishes you from looking into the future at the end of the day. So, and nothing to prepare for that you can't stop. So, ultimately, don't fall for it. It's not the first time, nor there will be the last time. This actual lineup has happened twice in the last 10 years. So, and the world still kept going. So, don't feed into the media. Don't feed into the internet. Really follow your guides. If you feel like you're going to die on the 23rd, you know, you better get some fucking in and you better have some fun. If that's how you feel. I personally don't feel like that. I feel like the world's going to continue. But back to this new moon. Chiron in Pisces is in conjunct Jupiter and Libra. Since we're talking about in conjunctions, let's talk about another one. Chiron in Pisces. So what needs to be integrated here? Chiron in Pisces is the wounded healer, and that's dealing with the initial wound of, we all share with this wound. We all share the natal wound of being born and being born and being disconnected from the spiritual tentacles of the all. Now we're into this earth sphere once we were born, and we are now disconnected from our spiritual and soul connection, and now we have to figure it out one step at a time. And that brings us here to really understanding that and really healing that and really coming back into connection with our spiritual selves. Chiron in Pisces is a wounded healer submerged in all the healing one could identify with in his imagination. Now Jupiter and Libra want you to make a decision as far as like, how do you want to identify? Do you want to identify with the pain, or do you want to identify with the healing? Because the healing is available, so we have to integrate proper decision of moving forward healed, or we can move forward with these wounds and be ready to protest, be ready to riot, be ready to blame the system, be ready to blame somebody for our personal problems. And that's all based upon the Chiron in Pisces, Jupiter and Libra. So like I said, the new moon in Virgo activates the victim martyr syndrome, where people is ready to fight for someone else and not themselves. So we can try to avoid this pain by focusing on others, but we need to deal with our own personal woundedness. If that's a word. So make sure people see you for your individual self, and make sure you're not being used, or make sure you're not using people as a void filler, because the feeling of needing somebody does not come from a place of power. The savior comes when you position yourself to be in a vulnerable place. And so now you need somebody, and so, you know, you're powerless, And so that feeling of powerless creates more powerlessness and creates more dependency upon the savior figure. So ultimately, believe in yourself, tap into your own power. Don't feel like nobody can do this shit for you. And that's not what I say, that's what the stars say. So there's some things happening during this new moon. Couple aspects I just wanted to touch on to just really identify. And there's two oppositions. Oppositions represent like and unlike, but if you understand universal law, you understand that like and unlike are the same. So we don't look at an opposition as a challenge. We just look at an opposition as revelation. So it's two particular oppositions that form an X in the center of the new moon. And that is Neptune opposed Mars in Virgo, and that's also Jupiter opposing Uranus in Aries. It's interesting when you talk about September 23rd and things of that nature, and you just talk about something happening. As opposed to, things is happening all the time. September 23rd, they can just choose to shine a light on a particular event that happened, years ago that nobody just never knew about. Things is happening all the time. We depend on media to inform us, and that's not a reliable source for information. We have to use our intuition to inform us, because that's the only thing that we can control. The news can't be covering every city, every state, and every major thing that happens. It's just not a reliable form of informing yourself. So you need to really understand introspection and meditation work. With that being said, Neptune in Pisces opposes Mars in Virgo during this new moon. So we have Mars in Virgo, which is coming out of Leo, coming off a solar eclipse. It is ready to do work, and not just blind fury work. It's energy, but energy with a vision. Opposing Neptune in Pisces. So you're ready to do something, right? But since we got Neptune in Pisces, you're dealing with particular illusions from different people based upon them not addressing that wounded healer, and based upon just being evil people, and just based upon, balance in life. You got to have good and bad. You got to have rain and sun. So you got Neptune and Pisces, and that can show up different ways. It can show up as, creative breakthroughs, but it could also show up as like, massive psyops on Facebook that kind of just envelop your whole mind and, invade your dreams and invade your emotions, and just does all crazy shit to you. It's not even real. It's just something simulated to see if they can trigger a particular negative emotion, because that's the name of the game. So if they can still do these things, since we're not watching TV anymore, since we're not doing everything we used to do in the 90s, technology has branched us out into more different terrains of technology, such as social media and things of that nature. So you can fall into that trap. But what's also going on in a personal level is Neptune and Pisces is, spiritualized love, supreme devotion, getting rid of boundaries and really perfecting the imagination. With Mars and Virgo, you can really start to perfect the vision of a business, perfect the vision of a love, perfect the vision of, a different type of situation for you that's kind of your own personal style based upon your imagination. So spell work and ritual is something that should be encouraged, because what you'll notice when you do these spiritual things, you will definitely have a result. You would definitely have a manifestation. And it's not always like this. The energy is palpable for like real spiritual change, but you got to really use that Mars energy and be active in it. It's not just you sitting around waiting for shit to happen. And so the second opposition, once again, is Jupiter and Libra opposing Uranus and Aries. So this is really a mental opposition. Jupiter and Libra got you carefully weighing the different things that it comes into aspect with. So now we have Uranus and Aries. So it's a good and it's a bad to Uranus and Aries. So it's kind of like when you come into Uranus and Aries, everything that was yesterday, it's like you awake now. So you might have been going to church last week. You go through a Uranus and Aries cycle, and now you woke and you can't go to church no more. Jupiter and Libra is like, all right, nigga, what you gonna do? You gonna go to church, or you gonna, meditate on Sunday? You gonna change up your routine? You gonna really live this woke life? Or is you gonna, because Uranus and Aries is already woke your ass up. But you had these society pressures and, I could never do that. I could never be in a polygamous relationship, or I could never. And then the truth is, you awaken to your reality like, I love this person and he already or she already is in a situation already. So Jupiter and Libra is like, you gonna leave it alone or you gonna go for it. And Uranus and Aries already done woke you up to the truth. Jupiter and Libra is there really to kind of throw you off or give you if you a decider and trying to always figure shit out, then that's what Jupiter and Libra is for. But since we all under this Uranus and Aries energy, it's going to likely put you in a situation where you don't got no choice but to see the damn signs. And so that's what brings us to the new moon in Virgo. And really just understanding that with change, we have to change ourselves to be in alignment with the change that's around us. And even if we are in a difficult situation, we shouldn't use that as an excuse not to change. There's some understanding there, and it's an energy available for you really to change and to really get into the groove of things. So with that being said, man, really take advantage of the energy of this new moon and don't let it fly over your heads, and really pay attention to those victims, man. Really pay attention to those people that's avoiding responsibility, and really pay attention to those people that is pointing the fingers and putting it off on everybody else. It's Donald Trump's fault, it's the government's fault, it's the FBI's fault, it's the CIA's fault. No, it's your fault for paying attention. You're not paying attention to the things that you need to pay attention to moving forward. It's your fault for not empowering yourself moving forward. Like, the world is changing. So, ain't nobody gonna feel sorry for you. So you can fight for your right and fight the power all you want to. You know what I'm saying? Good luck with that. You know what I'm saying? You got my support, but I'm going to empower myself moving forward. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to really take this energy and really flame it up. So with that being said, man, it's the Hood Mystic. This is This Week in Astrology, new moon in Virgo. We'll be back for the full moon in Libra, and say farewell to Jupiter and Libra, and really, because Jupiter and Libra is a time where we're making decisions and we're not really sure. Once Jupiter falls into Scorpio, it's like it's on and popping. Ain't no more decisions. It is what it is. So enjoy these last moments of making decisions and being sure, because once Jupiter and Scorpio comes in, It's a whole different shift in energy. And so in the aspects of what should I do? Should I do this? Should I do that? It's going to be it's going to be very, very deep when it comes to how we look at our lives and the strides that we have made thus far in this thing that we call consciousness. So I hope you're ready for change like I am, and really just empowering yourself through it all and keeping the proper perspective of your own spiritual power and not submitting that to anybody or any institution or any god or any being outside of yourself, and really seeing within yourself the power that's within you and building it, and talking to people that's willing to help you develop it, and not talking to people that's willing to pimp you out of some money to, survive. So that being said, hit me up for a reading, hoodmystic.com, hoodmystic@gmail.com if you want to talk, www.facebook.com/hoodmystic. It's a lot of cool shit on that page, so join the discussion. We're here. I'm here for it. Hood Mystic. September 19th, 2017, the day before the Virgo new moon. And I'm out, man. Y'all have a good night. Peace.